everyone, welcome to this session. So let's understand what are objects in JavaScript. So whenever you have some data wherein the information is related to each other, and if you want to group such related data or information or any sort of functions that particular information that can relate to, you can group them by using object. Okay, so here is an example. So let's say we have car, and a car can have these sort of properties, right? It can have color, it will have a model, it will have the year, or like you can say make, and then it will have certain functions as in start, drive, stop. So all these properties, right, are related to car. So these for the all these information, you don't have to keep them separate. You can create an object and you can group all this information together, right? So for any such scenarios, you can create an object. So this is the syntax for the object. You need to use, of course, let or const keyword, and then you have to give your object an object name, and the information that you will store, that will be in the form of key value pair. So for example, here the property name, right, the key name here will be color, and then you can give the color value, whatever it is, right, red, yellow, blue, whatever it is, and then model, and then model name, right? So whenever you are defining your object, you need to give the information in key value pair. All right, and these are the topics that we are going to cover. We'll see how to create an object, we'll see how to access and modify properties of the object, we'll see how you can create methods inside the object, we'll also see what is this keyword and why do we use it, we'll see how you can loop over through an object's properties, and we'll also see what are nested objects, and then we'll see some standard methods of the object, and then we'll see some standard methods of object. All right, so let's get started and create an object. So I'll copy the syntax from here, okay, and then let's just keep the syntax here, and now I'll go ahead and create an object. So if I want to create an object for student, so student, and how the syntax goes, I have to put an equals sign, and then inside curly brackets I need to give my properties in the form of key value pair. So what and all a student can have, it can have first name, and then I have to give the value, and I have to separate the key and value with colon, okay, and then I'll give last name, and then I'll give another property age, I can give another property as course, I'll give another property student ID, and that's it. Okay, so we have created an object here, and the object information is in the form of key value pairs. Okay, so these are called properties, and how we have kept the properties in the form of key value pairs. So these are the keys and these are the values. Okay, now I'll remove this. Let's just log this object and check it out. So if I print student and if I save this, you see we have the information, all the information, right? So starting with the first name, we have the first name here, we have the last name, basically all the properties that I have defined here, it's all showing up here. And if you want to access any specific property of an object, all you have to do is you have to put a dot and then access the property. So let's see if I want to print the age, so I'll just do student.age, and you can see I'm able to get the age. And similarly, let's say if there's anything else, right, so log and student dot, let's say student ID, and I'll save this, and I got the ID. And similarly, if you have a nested object, okay, let's say if I want to add address, so here I'll just type in address, and then I'll create a nested object. That means I'm going to create an object inside the object. Okay, so again I'll start defining the properties in the form of key value pair. So here I'll give city name, and then I'll give postal code, and I'll just save this. Okay, now if I want to access the properties of this nested object, I have to keep in mind that we do have an additional node here now, right? So I cannot directly access by typing in student.cityname. I have to type student.address.cityname. Okay, so let's just try it out. So log, and if I just directly type student dot, let's say city name, it won't give me anything. Okay, undefined. So that is why I have to type in student.address.cityname, and I'm able to access the property. Now let's see what else can we do here. Okay, so let's see how we can add or delete properties. And let's say I want to define a new property, right? So I'll say something like final grade, and I'll just define it as A, and let me save this, and then let me just print the object. So log, and then what is the object? Student. I'll save this, and now if you see the object, you will see an additional property as grade, final grade, which is A now, right? So see, the final grade property does not originally exist in this object, but I added it by doing this. So you can just type in the object name dot and the new property that you want to introduce, and then the value of the property. And similarly, if you want to delete a property, right? So let's say if I want to delete the course from here, so all I have to do is delete, and then from where I want to delete, student object dot and course, and that's it. If I save this, now you won't see the course property here, right? So see, the course is gone. So that is how you can add a property and you can delete a property. So now we know how to create an object, how to assign values, how to create a nested object, how to access the properties of an object, how to add a property to an object, and how to delete a property from an object. Now let's move ahead and check out how we can add a method in an object. So here I want to add another function, right? So I'll type in the function name, or you can say method name here. So let's say, for example, greeting. Okay. And here you have to follow the same syntax as function. So I'll just type in function, but we don't have to give the function name here, right? We can use this name. Okay. So function and then curly brackets. And inside this, whatever logic that you want to apply, you can. So here, let me just type in hello and then save this. Now, if I want to access this function, then I will just do something like this. I don't have to actually log. I can directly call. So student dot greeting. And here you can say we have the result of student dot greeting. Okay. So likewise, you can add as many methods that you want to add inside an object. All right. Now, as we are checking the functions, let's just also check what is this keyword. Okay. So I'll go ahead and then remove some of the properties. So let me just only keep till here, and let's just only keep this function over here, and let me remove everything else. Now here, if I want to append the name of the student, right? The first name of the student, what can I do? Either I can use backtick and then append the value, or I can use this as well, right? So here I'll just type in first name and I'll remove this for now because I want to explain this. So I'll just do this. And if I save this, what happens? So first I have to call this, right? So student dot, let me just call this student dot greeting. And if I save this, nothing happens, right? But we have an error over here. What is the error? It says first name is not defined. Okay. Because we need to mention that it is coming from student. So I will write something like this, student dot first name, and then I will save this. And now you see the value, right? Hello, and then student's first name. So now the question is that why did we have to mention student here, right? So the problem is that let me remove this first, and then I'll show you something else. So let's say if I have a global variable with the same variable name. So I'll define another one, let first name. Okay. And here I'll give a value as global Robert, and then I'll save this. So now if I save this, look at this. It is telling me hello global Robert, right? So that is the reason why it was important to mention student dot. Okay. Student dot first name or student dot last name, so that it will refer to the current context that you are into, right? And not anything which has been defined globally. All right. So that is why we had written student. Now there's an easier way of doing this. Okay. Now see, if I write student dot first name, then it will take this first name and not the global variable. Correct. So let's say if I have to show another property, then I will write something like this, student dot last name, and I will just append this. Okay. I'll save this and I have this value here, hello Robert Parker. Okay. But now if you see, I'm writing student dot again and again. So instead of writing student every time, I can just write this dot and this dot. So what it does is that it is always going to refer to the current context, right? And it is not going to take the global variables. So even if you're writing a function, if you use this word, right, this keyword, then it is going to take the current context of the function, and it will not look for any other variable with the same name, right? Otherwise, if there is anything which has been globally defined, it is going to take that value and not the current context value. So that is where we use this keyword, this dot first name and this dot last name. So you can always use this particular keyword, this keyword, when you want to refer to the current context. All right. Now let's check that how we can loop through the properties of this object. So I will remove this and I'm going ahead and writing a loop. So I'll use for in loop. So I'll start with for, and then I'll declare a variable, let key in what? In student, right? So student, and for in loop always takes the keys. All right. So here, now if I print the keys, I will get the keys. And then if I pass the keys in the student, then I will get the values. So let me just first print keys and show you. So I've printed keys, and then if I save this, you see first name, last name, age, greeting, right? First name, last name, age, greeting. So it has given me all the key names, right? And if you want the values, so from attributes, we got the keys, and from attributes, if you need the values, you just have to pass the key into the student object. So here, let's just append this. Okay. So this is our object. So object, and then square brackets, and then we'll pass the key. So if I save this, you see I got the key and the value. All right. So this is how you can loop through the object properties. There's one more thing that I forgot to mention. So if while you're accessing the object properties, there are always two ways by which you can access the properties. One is dot notation that we have been using. There's another one which is bracket notation. Okay. So let's say if I just want to print the first name, so I'll log something like this, student dot first name, and I'll save this. So I got the name, right? But the same thing I can do by doing this. So this is called dot notation. Okay. If I remove the dot and if I put square brackets, but I would have to put this in quotations, and I'll save this. You see now also I got the value. Okay. So there are always two ways of accessing the object properties. You can either use the dot notation or the bracket notation. Okay, the next one is nested object that we already saw. Now let's just go ahead and check out some methods of the objects. Okay, so let me write another log statement, and here if I use this method, these are standard methods which are available. Okay, if I use this method, what will I get? So object dot keys, and which is my object. This is my object and I want to get all the keys of the object. So if I just pass the object name, so I will get all the keys, right? If I open and see this, see these are the keys, right? First name, last name, age, and greeting. Okay, and similarly, if we use this method, we'll get the values log, and we'll use the method, and we have to pass the object name. So this is the object name. We'll save this. So here you can see all the values. These are all the values that are there. And if we use this one, we get both the things, right? We get the keys and we also get the values. So these come very handy when you're like, implementing some sort of logic and you only want the keys, you want all the keys, you can just use this method. If you only want the values, you can use this method. And if you want both the things like the keys and the values, then you can use object.entries. So here log object.entries, and what is the object name? It's student. And I'll just save this. So here if you see, we have the key and the value, key, value, key, value, key, and the value. All right. And then we have this one more method, which is to check if a property exists in an object or not. All right. So if I do this one, so log and this, and what is the object name? Student. So student dot has own property. And let's see if I have to search for a property. So this is always going to return true or false based on if that property exists in that object or not. So here if I check for, let's say, age, so it should return me true because age property does exist in student object, right? So if I save this, it returns me true. But let's say if I search for something as let's say course, right? So course, if I save this, it returns me false. Okay, so this is how you can use these methods. There are other methods as well, you can check it out, but these are some standard ones which you should know. So I think this is enough for you to get started with object. Now I hope that you have your concept is clear on why do we need object, how to create an object, and how to create a nested object, how to create methods inside an object, why do we use this keyword, how you can access the properties of the object, how you can add and delete properties in an object, and how you can loop through the properties of the object, and what are the methods and how you can use these methods, right? So that's it for this session, and I'll see you in the next one.